If you ever asked a friend whether he has paid for sex before, you'd probably be shocked at the honest answer. And if you dare ask him again why he paid for sex, the honest details of that answer may shock you even more.
He knows it's a contract. After maybe your 2-3 days working trip, you go back to Accra and he has nothing to do with you. Whatever you wanted to do for you. Once the two of you have agreed on how much is involved, he's prepared to do that one for you. Unlike your normal fiancé.
For some men, the moment they pick up a lady, go on a lunch date with her, perhaps buy her a phone, and then have sex with her somehow, they conclude that the cash spent on the woman is payment for the sex. Such men see very little difference between the prostitutes who line the red light corners or sit at the doorpost of brothels and the regular girl in the neighborhood, office, or church whom they had sex with after meeting some financial needs of that woman.
It has to do with the excitement of, being able to convince someone to undress for you. I think for me that is it. It's not the sexual part, the part where you are laying down with the person. It is not that. I think it's the moment, okay, that I have been able to convince someone, okay, to lay down with me. I think that is it. So it's the excitement. You are looking for how many people can I convince. How many people can I convince with my looks? How many people can I convince with some amount of money? Okay, because I think if it was the sex, I had sex with 3 girls in a day. Okay, one after the other in a day. And the following day, I still wanted to have sex with a different person.
I do not intend to examine the morality or otherwise of why men pay for sex on this program. Neither do I wish to wade into the eternal debate of whether prostitution should be legalized. I only seek to bring to your attention the underlying reasons why some men cannot defy the commands of their libidos. My name is Kweku Owusu Pepra.
I can't speak for other people, but for me, I must confess that even in my middle age, I will say I'm energetic, sexual. So then you could think of when I was a young man in my 20s, in my 30s. So if I come to you and you cannot withstand my 45 to 1 hour marathon, after 30 minutes you are grumbling, you are complaining, I'm tired and all those things, fine. Since that day, I've decided to make love, to have sex. Then I have to go and look for another woman to finish the day's activities as far as sex is concerned. Another point is that, curiosity is a factor. At times, you see a lady in, especially their straight jeans, and if you look at the shape in that jeans, the Adamic lust and test will just push you on that look. You need to have this woman. So,
in your youthful days, how was the experience like? How many were you keeping at a time? And To what extent did you go in managing all these sexual portfolios?
Well, for me, the serious ones in my youthful days, the serious ones, I had 5 of them. But a teacher or a master in the secondary school once told me, and I took it as a principle, that as much as possible, you don't have to be paying for sex.
Meet KB, a senior sales and marketing executive. His love and strength for sex are very high. He has had sex with women, and sometimes the only thing he knew about the women was their first names. He usually makes very little or no effort to get to know the other person or her sexual history. Popular culture tries to make us believe that guys think about sex all the time, thus every 6 seconds. Or you may have heard the report that most young men think about sex at least 19 times each day.
Apart from the 5 of them, because they were career women, and she cannot, after the day's work, so tired, be prepared to go about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, 4 rounds. They were not prepared to do that. Then go and look for one of the casual ones. If I say casual in our house, I had those ones who were just casual. For them, it is when all other things have failed, then I will go as if I can get. They were around and they were ready to take me to, even if it's the whole day. And hey, I remember one of them have to take me extra mile where I have to collapse, and they have to, resuscitate me with milk and malt and all those things. So
you had sex till you collapsed?
Oh yes.
During your time as a sales and marketing person, did you, in your travels, engage the services of commercial sex workers?
Commercial sex workers, I knew at that time where, I think today they've added a new name to them. They say they are the diplomatic call girls or whatever they are. You see, these people were not the street girls, the red light type of sex workers, commercial sex workers. These were, ladies.
They were like escorts.
That is the word. These were escorts, and that were the kind of ladies I was dealing with. If I was going on track, I'll just call one. Look, I'm going to say Kumase. You just tell her that this is the hotel you are lodging. You go and, hey, she is there. But for them, once she knows it's a contract, after maybe your 2-3 days working trip, you go back to Accra and she has nothing to do with you. Whatever you want her to do for you, she's prepared to do that one for you.
Many therapists define sexual addiction as an obsessive behavior that puts marriage, family, career, health, and personal safety in danger. Are men or boys always that horny that they don't care much whom they have sex with? Experts say people with high libidos see their partners as separate individuals with rights and boundaries, while sex addicts see their partners as objects existing solely for their own pleasure, to be exploited and discarded at will.
I wanted to let my ladies know that, look, even in death, I'm prepared to satisfy them sexually.
How many rounds of sex did it take to run out of your sperms? Did it happen in a day? Or I really want to understand.
Hey, like I told you, I was keeping these 5 ladies aside. They were the serious ones. And aside them, you have the casual ones.
How many were they per estimate?
The casual ones, I cannot
number.
Yeah, count them. I cannot recall it. And if I count to you, somebody will say quarter, about 4 rounds, and each one of them a minimum of about 45 minutes. From there, I'll drive straight to the second lady. And the same process. How it
So
happened.
by Saturday evening, you had run out of sperms?
No, even by the Friday with the second woman, you could feel you are discharging, but nothing comes. Then it gets to a point you feel the pain.
Did you stop?
Oh, like I said, I only wanted to let my ladies know that I'm strong. So even...
Do you find your sexual drive abnormal or weird?
I can't say abnormal or weird, but this one is also a kind of superstition.
For example, I had 3 girls. Okay, one was paying. When I say one was paying, one will obviously give you, everything you need when you ask. Okay, and there was another who wasn't asking for anything, and there was another who was asking for everything. Every time she calls, she's asking for something. Okay, now you know that girl, you don't really love her. I didn't. Okay, but she can really, okay, you obviously have to go to the ends of the world to satisfy her, demands, because you also know what you are getting at.
What's the highest amount of money you spent on sex?
Well, I can't say all time maximum. I think 4,000. I think it was for a period of 2 months. Yeah, aside, buy me this, buy me that. Unfortunately for me, when I met her, she was about to celebrate her birthday in 2 months.
So you had to organize a birthday party.
I had to organize a birthday party. Yeah, and I think I actually scored. That was the scoring point, the birthday party.
Do you think, for instance, this case, that you would not have gotten into her had it not been the investment of cash that you made?
Oh yeah. I wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't. Not in a million years. I wouldn't.
So in this particular case where you invested this amount of money to get into your target, when all was said and done, how did you feel?
It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Not at all. It wasn't worth it. I know many guys are going to tell you this, you chase a girl, you have your fantasies, and those are the things that keep inspiring you to do other things when you can't really do it. Okay, you keep your eye on the price. This is what I want. Okay, and this is how it's going to be like. Okay, at the end of the day, you eventually get it, and it's not like that. Okay, so it means then you have to move on to the next one to find it.
What are you looking for?
I think I'm also looking for an answer to that question. I don't really know what exactly I'm looking for.
So what are men really looking for when they keep multiple sexual relationships? Some say they have a real preference for good-looking or hot girls. Francis has concluded that one woman may never be enough to satisfy his sexual cravings. His words have been voiced by an actor.
I think at a point in my life, I had one girl who really, rocked me when it comes to sex. She does almost everything I've ever wanted any other girl to do. Yes, still, I cheated on her with another girl. So I think that's an answer I'm looking for. I think it has to do with the excitement of, being able to convince someone to undress for you. I think that is it. So it's the excitement, you are looking for how many people can I convince. So for me, I think now I've really found the answer to it. It is not the sex itself. Okay, because I think if it was the sex, I had sex with 3 girls in a day. Okay, one after the other in a day. And the following day, I still wanted to have sex with a different person.
you still pay for sex on the side?
Sometimes.
Why do you do that?
Variety is the spice of life. My girlfriend is everything I want in a woman. I see a woman with a nice behind, and I go like, oh Charlie, wait here. I see a woman who, speaks well, or in her way of speaking, she's very naughty. I go like, Charlie, wait here. So these are some of the things that drives me to go after that woman. Yes.
And you never get satisfied?
A man is never satisfied. A man is never satisfied.
Do you think that this is a bad attitude, or for you it's okay?
It's a bad attitude.
Why is it bad?
It's very bad because, one, you don't save. Because immediately the money comes, I go out, I meet a woman, and I don't mind giving all the money to the woman for me to walk back home just for sex. And this girl whom I paid the 70 Ghana for, I can call her right now and go like, Charlo Wahi, come over. She will come. Like, I don't have money, but I want to have sex. She'll give it out. Then later when I'll if I get money, I'll just give it to her.
So she'll give you sex on credit?
On credit. Let me put it that way. My girl is one girl. If you should have sex with her, you fall in love with her. But we're there on Betia.
But she's not enough.
She's enough, but me greedy. She's very enough, but I'm very greedy.
Duke could be called a player or a Casanova or a variety of other names. Whatever you call him, he certainly fits some of the prevalent expectations about young men's sexual behavior. People with high libidos feel satisfied after they masturbate. But sex addicts often masturbate to the point of injury. For married men, there is a psychological difference between paid sex and other types of infidelity. Visiting a prostitute is usually only about the sex. It isn't about friendship. It isn't about ego or admiration or conquest. It is a cold and emotionless business transaction.
I'll put God first in the most important priority in my life. Simply because, you can't do without God. God is God. You need Him. I'm a Christian. Yes. Second, it's my job. Because my job gives me money. Yes. My job. Without my job, I can't go for my sex. So my job gives me money. So after my job, it's sex. Because when I get the money, that is when I can use some for the sex aspect of my life. I have paid for sex several times. I've had sex in most dangerous places. I think yes. I've had sex in a church room.
You've had sex in a church?
Yes.
According to some sex therapists, people with high libidos run their sex life, while in the case of sex addicts, their sex lives drive them. How long can you stay without necessarily having sex?
You see, I tried that one time. I am very, very, experimental. I tried that for one time, and I couldn't go for a week. I am sexually active. I don't think I can go a week without having sex. If I go a week without having sex, I'll feel like a drug addict, who is not getting, his or her, regular dose. Yeah. So, the maximum I've been able to go without sex is, I think, 4 days.
On your list of priorities, where would you place sex? 1 to 10.
Sex plays a vital role in my life. It does. Aside my career. So I think I probably might place sex, at number 2, because when I'm not worrying about my job, I'm worrying about sex.
Do you find your sexual cravings normal?
Yeah, it is. I I think it's normal. I am a guy who's in his prime, and
I can tell you that a lot of women are paying for good sex. You maybe you've not heard of the sugar mommy thing.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, they go for the young guys who are energetic, and they pay. Some of them buy cars for these young men. It's not for nothing. So it's there.
What was the highest you earned out of that? What did any woman give you out of that?
There was
In relative terms today.
there was this woman who was a businesswoman at Makola that time. The woman was, which I don't want to mention her name. She's now old.
She was a sugar mommy.
Yeah, you will say a sugar mommy. I will calculate and say in today's term, how much is a golf car going to cost?
A Golf 4 might cost about $25,000.
So then you should know my highest. Because a showroom, Kous Motors, showroom car.
She bought that for you.
Oh, that is it. But I won't say it's the best practice. Young man, hey, go look for a young woman, start life with, and hey, move on with your life. Yeah.
Having too much sex doesn't make someone a sex addict, but having sex fused with shame, secrecy, and betrayal definitely does. And if as a man or woman you can't stop having sex that hurts yourself or other people around you, you are a sex addict and you need help. For Joy FM's hotline, my name is Kweku Owusu Pepra.